Golden State Warriors fans, there's some movement on the trade front. Oh, yes, there is some movement on the trade front. So, yeah, today, I mean, gosh, December 15th is a big day. That's when some contracts become eligible to be traded. But, oh my gosh, Shams and just, it's like NBA media have come out with a litany of rumors today. So let's address these Golden State Warriors trade rumors. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the C trains either like or dislike the idea. So here, I'm going to offer some trades. We're going to talk about the rumors, right? The Jimmy Butler rumor. Should we just talk about that one first, right? And then I'm going to say, do I like it? Do I not necessarily like the idea? First and foremost, what were we just talking about? Jimmy Butler, yes. It is rumored that Jimmy Butler has 3 teams that he would be willing to be traded to, right? One of those teams is the Golden State Warriors, and I love that. I'll talk about that a little bit later, but would I approve? Do I like a potential Jimmy Butler trade to the Golden State Warriors? I like the idea. Stop. I like the idea contingent on 2 things, and those 2 things may not be doable. And one more time, I like the idea, asterisk, pending these 2 things. It is contingent on these 2 things. If these 2 things don't align, I do not like this idea. First, Steph approves of the trade. Look, Stephen Curry has earned the right to go out with whoever the frick he wants to, man. That is Stephen Curry. He is my GOAT. We're Warriors fans here. What are we talking about? I mean, a lot of the Warriors fans are going to be here. It's Steph, y'all. Look, if Steph approves of a Jimmy Butler trade, I can't say anything. Why? Because Steph has earned what I have not earned. It's like, dude, I have like some awesome trade ideas. Look, I called the Lauri Markkanen interest. I called the LeBron James interest. Have I won championships for the Golden State Warriors? I'd like to think so. But unfortunately, I didn't technically win those championships. Steph, he was the dude on the court for most of those championships. I think we can all agree on that, right? Draymond, of course, as well. There was strength in numbers. But it starts with Steph and it ends with Steph. If Steph approves of this trade, if Stephen Curry approves of Jimmy Butler to the Golden State Warriors, then I approve. Number 2 of my contingencies of this trade, Andrew Wiggins cannot and must not be involved in this trade. One more time, Andrew Wiggins cannot and must not be involved in this trade. I think a Butler trade would be incredibly difficult, especially because the Heat do not mess around with trades, and they don't mess around with their assets, right? They will want first-round draft picks. They will want the Warriors' younger players with potential. And here's what I can tell you. As long as Wiggins isn't in the trade, look, if you got Steph, Draymond, Butler, and Wiggins, I'm all in. There's no problem right there. No problem. I'll roll with those 4. 4 on 5. I'm just messing, but you throw Looney in there and stuff like that. That's nice. That's really nice, okay? Like legit, like Steph, Jimmy Butler, Andrew Wiggins, Draymond Green, and Kayvon Looney all roll with that squad. Like, do I think that they have enough dribble penetration? Probably. Do they have enough defense? Probably. Do they have enough shooting? Maybe, probably, honestly. It depends on who you're bringing off the bench, right? We still got Buddy. So contingent on Steph approving and Andrew Wiggins staying, I can dig that. Who are some players that would go out in a Jimmy Butler trade? Of course, Bob Myers said it'd have to be like 5 or so, and he ain't lying. So you got Moses Moody. I think he's got like a poison pill in his contract. So his contract trading is like $10 million or 11. Gary Payton, GP2, I think he's at like 8-ish or something like that. Then you got to go 2 more players. So you go Jonathan Kuminga at 7. Then you still need another, Melton. So there you go. I think that makes it possible. Honestly, we'll have to do trade checker. But gosh, again, if the Warriors keep Wiggins, I have no problem with that trade. And yes, it involves giving up Jonathan Kuminga. That stinks, and also it may end up to bite the Warriors long term because Kuminga's been playing great. Kuminga's been playing great the last few games. Well, 2 out of the last 3 games he's played really well. So here's a good thing. I love the optics that one of the teams Butler wanted to go to was the Warriors. That ups the Warriors' value to other players around the league, and it gives the Warriors bargaining power. If there's a player that only wants to go to one of 3 teams, and honestly, the Heat are probably going to hopefully acquiesce to that request, then yes, it could definitely work out. So yeah, for the record though, this is for the record. So I'm like, I don't love this trade. I like a Jimmy Butler trade. I guess I really like it, like only if you keep those players and also Steph approves, right? Because that is such a big give up. You might have to give up. That's tough. For the record though, this is bad. Warriors fans are gonna laugh because I actually like Bam Adebayo as a fit on the Warriors a lot more than I like Jimmy Butler. Like seriously. Bam Adebayo, I'm not sure what his contract is. I think it's got to be cheaper than Jimmy's, right? Bam Adebayo and Draymond Green would be like one of the better defensive front courts ever. So what does that mean? It means that like Jimmy Butler's the big fish in that trade, and honestly, he's like maybe like the second or maybe even third player that I would want from the Heat. So yeah. Now let's look at some Nets players. Cam Johnson, Dorrian Finney Smith, and Dennis Schroder. I really, really like a Cam Johnson and Dennis Schroder trade. I love Cam Johnson and Dennis Schroder, their potential on the Warriors. Schroder is a ball hawk on defense. No, he's not that big. So that you have to understand that. He's like 6'1", right? Not a huge dude. Gets some steals, is decent, is a decent defender. Not great, but decent. But can shoot lights out. He's got range, and he can break down. He can dribble, penetrate. The Warriors, since Melton went out, have just been dying for another player who can freaking dribble, penetrate, and get some good kicks to players like Steph and players like Buddy Hield, okay? If the Warriors were able to get Cam Johnson while keeping Wiggins, I would do this trade in an instant. And yes, Cam Johnson, I believe, is 27, 28-ish. I would, unfortunately, this stinks. I believe that Cam Johnson and Schroder would be like a better fit on this Warriors squad than Kuminga is. Just right now, Kuminga, I really like Kuminga. I think that it's difficult because I think Kuminga would be the centerpiece in many of these trades. But oh my gosh, Cam Johnson and Dennis Schroder are amazing shooters, great free throw shooters, and play solid defense. You can't go wrong with that. I really like a potential Nets deal. But if you were to go, we would go 1 in my rankings of Nets players. Definitely Cam Johnson is number 1. Number 2 is actually Schroder. Number 3 is Dorrian Finney Smith. Then number 4 is Nick Claxton. And I don't think that he'll have to do anything, but I just like his defensive potential. I think he's I love his activity as a big man. So let's move on. Well, here, real quick, we just have to know. Schroder, I hope that I said this. I'm like looking at a little bit of notes, but Schroder has the range, the ability to penetrate, seemingly at will, while Cam Johnson is great. As I call him a 3 and D plus player. Not like a D plus as in a grade, but like as in a 3 and D, and he adds a little bit more than that as a player. How about Nikola Vucevic? What? The Bulls player? Yeah. He's been rumored to be on the market. And gosh, I actually like a Vucevic trade. I think that he would fit on the Warriors. He is not really a great defender, but he's got size and he's got a little bit of mobility. He's getting up there in age, but gosh, he's got some range. He's a good passer and he can work that high post. Warriors coach Steve Kerr likes his bigs to work out of the high post, so it's like right around the 3-point line at the top of the key, essentially. Works a lot around that, right? Setting screens, moving, taking the ball sometimes, right? Dribble handoffs, all that good stuff. Vucevic can play well within that scheme. Here's a true story. This is very interesting. Kevin Durant, KD, when he was on the Warriors and Vucevic was on the Orlando Magic, used to tweet about how much he wanted to play with Vucevic. Interesting, isn't it? Very interesting. Doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the Warriors now, but heck, I just thought I'd let you know some cool lore. The Vucevic lore featuring KD. Okay. These two I love. Herbert Jones and Jonas Valanciunas. I like this trade a whole lot. However, it doesn't get you that dribble penetration that you need. However, again, if you were to get like a Markelle Fultz, somehow sign him, okay, then you trade for Herbert Jones and Valanciunas. I really, 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 really like that trade. I think Valanciunas is like a little bit, Vucevic, I guess, is having the better season. He's averaging like around 20 points per game. I like the way that Valanciunas plays a little bit better. I just do, and that's okay. I think that it's just preference. I think that he would do really well setting screens, a big, big body for rebounds, and he can shoot a little bit, and we love that. Not because we want to see him shooting that much, but we love to see defenses respecting bigs who can shoot, hopefully coming out a little bit on them. Herb Jones, to me, Herbert Jones is like OG Anunoby light, and I'm gonna stick with that. I have seen Herbert Jones successfully guard Stephen Curry, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis. I don't know what else. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to tell you. In terms of 3-and-D potential, I just don't know what. It's like rumored that he might be trade eligible, that the Pelicans might be dangling at him, and I got to tell you, like, I have no idea why. I love Herbert Jones. Herbert Jones plays within himself, limits his turnovers, is a double dog on defense, and has some range on those three-pointers. Good corner three-pointer shooter. Oh, now we're going to move on. This is the doozy. Out of fever, and the only prescription, more LeBron James to the Warriors rumors starting right now. Look, LeBron James. He's been rumored again. Look, please if you look at my history, my video history on YouTube, I called that the Warriors were going to be interested in LeBron last year. This year, I guess it's possible. Well, the rumor is that the Warriors might try to revisit that LeBron James to the Warriors trade, and also that this time Rich Paul, who is LeBron's agent, like the head of Clutch, I believe, he would approve of it. Last season, he didn't like the optics of Steph with LeBron. Do you think the Olympics changed his mind? Honestly, I never needed my mind changed, right? Steph and LeBron are two of the greatest players of all time. Here's what I'll say. I would absolutely love LeBron James on the Golden State Warriors, playing with Stephen Curry and Draymond, his boy Draymond, right? This is what we have to understand. This is why. And I'd love to get an omelet. I'm going to let you know a little bit, Warriors fans, okay? Here we go. Basketball is a sport. Basketball is a sport. You generally would like to play on a court with the ball and a goal, a hoop. Heck, you could play basketball on concrete, on asphalt, on packed dirt, okay? You could probably play it on grass, on really clean. Okay, real quick. Okay, keep on going. That's basketball. That's basketball. This is the difference. This is where, darn it, my knowledge shines through in this moment because of this. I'm sorry to say that, but basketball is a sport. The NBA, what's basketball, y'all? What's basketball? Write in the comment. A sport. It's a game. The NBA is a business. It is an association of basketball teams. The goal of the business in association, the goal of this association of all these teams and businesses, the goal of the teams and the businesses is to make money, to make a profit. Money is the goal of the NBA. It's profit. Hopefully the Golden State Warriors goal is to win and in that maximize their profits. However, look, if the Golden State Warriors won every championship and the Golden State Warriors didn't make any money winning those championships, that they would go bankrupt. They would have to sell, right? Laker would go bankrupt. That wouldn't be good. Laker would go bankrupt. He'd have to sell. Now, none of that's going to happen. But I'm trying to nail in that NBA is a business. This is why. If LeBron were to go to the Warriors, I think that Warriors fans would fully understand how much of a business this is. Because LeBron doesn't come alone. He comes with, there are negatives to this, right? With all that media attention. There are negatives. However, he comes with his own company, with Clutch. He comes with a bunch of players, good to great players in the NBA right now, who, if they got bought out of a contract, if they were free agent, would sign with the team to play with LeBron James. There are players out there that would play for significantly less money to be on a squad with LeBron James, Stephen Curry, and Draymond freaking Green. A couple issues, of course, right? What the heck does that even look like? This sounds weird. I don't care what the outgoing looks like. Steph and Dre have to stay. And unfortunately, Andrew Wiggins would be gone in a LeBron James trade. He's way too valuable, man. You can't trade for the king without giving up some of the most valuable pieces you have. So yes, Wiggins would be gone. First round draft picks, plural, would be gone. Kuminga would be gone. Right? I mean, probably. Write in the comments if you think the Warriors can land LeBron without giving up Wiggins and Kuminga, right? Okay. I think that's worth it. I absolutely think that's worth it, because when all that's seen is like a LeBron James for Andrew Wiggins and Kuminga and change, right? What we don't see is the impact that makes around the league. And here's another example. The NBA officials, the referee, the refs, a few years ago, you can look this up, they apologized to the Lakers for getting a few, and LeBron James, specifically LeBron, for getting calls wrong in the Lakers versus Celtics game. The Warriors would start to get some good calls. They would go to the free throw line more. Absolutely. Here's the deal, though. What you would need to do if you had LeBron, Draymond, and Steph, you would need to provide them with defense and shooting. Shooting and defense. Draymond can hold his own. LeBron and Steph are getting older. They're older. So you have to account for that. But I love that. And I think that this stinks, but if Mike Dunleavy would have the guts to pull off that trade, and I hope he sees this. I have faith in Mike Dunleavy to create a supplemental roster, right, that would really, really complement LeBron, Steph, and Draymond. I fully believe that Mike Dunleavy Jr. would be able to do that. Okay? So, yeah. Side note, okay, LeBron James, it has been rumored that he would be traded with his son, Bronny, okay? It's like a package deal, right? You get LeBron and all the accoutrement that comes with him. I love that. And here's the thing. If LeBron James is out there, look, this is all good. Okay. All I'll say is this. All I'll say is this. If I had a son who played in the NBA, if I had a son who was young, who played guard in the NBA, I would want them shadowing and learning from the absolute best of the best. If I were, this is no joke, if I were LeBron James, I would want what's best for my family, including my son Bronny. In my opinion, the best thing would be to get into the Santa Cruz Warriors system, for Bronny to get into the Santa Cruz Warriors system and to start shadowing Steph whenever possible. heck, if I were a parent, it's what I would do as a responsible, loving parent. I would get traded to the Golden State Warriors with my son. Okay, let's go with some of the others, right? Some of the others. Bogdan Bogdanovic. He's an Atlanta Hawks. He's like a 2/3. I really like Bogdan. I really like him. I think he's coming off of an injury. There are rumors that he can be had. Whew, if Bogdan Bogdanovic could be had for like a Moses Moody and seconds, you do that trade immediately. You do that trade yesterday, okay? Markelle Fultz and Jeremy Sohan. I know, I'm totally beating the dead horse. Markelle Fultz and Jeremy Sohan aren't rumored to the Warriors at all. They're just two names that I wanted to bring up for my own receipts. I believe that Markelle Fultz solves the defense and the dribble penetration issues with the Warriors. He's a free agent. He can be had right now. Does he want to sign for what the Warriors have to offer? I don't know. The Warriors have probably already asked. But I really like what Markelle Fultz would have to offer. And he's like free. And then I got to say, Jeremy Sohan. I love Jeremy Sohan, from the Spurs. You'll see more about him in the future. He is an awesome, awesome player. His energy, the fact that he can look, Jeremy Sohan can play 1 through 5. He can play it at a quality level. The Warriors need those types of players. He's a great defender. And he played point guard for a little bit. Not necessarily successful, but he did play point guard for the Spurs last year. I really like Jeremy Sohan. These are all names, those few names just now. Bogdan, Markelle Fultz, and Jeremy Sohan. Those are all names I think that can really help the Warriors compete, and they might be more prudent deals, right? Like, you might be able to have, like, Jeremy Sohan he's playing tough, and Spurs are really defensive. I still think that he can be had, okay? I think so. And I think that he would really shine on the Warriors. So the Warriors, do they need to make the big splash move? Absolutely not. Would I approve of it if Steph did? Absolutely. 150%, 1,000,000%. There's not a percentage. If Steph says it's okay, it's okay. Period. So, gosh, this is going to be an interesting... Look, at first, I thought the Warriors might just make a small move. I definitely think that they will make a smaller move, like small to mid-size, maybe like Bogdanovic, right? However, the odds are now increasing, honestly, that they will make a bigger move. And the reason why I like both ideas, honestly, is because if they make a bigger move and really trim down their roster, I have so much faith in Mike Dunleavy Jr. to fill in the margins. That's what he's actually good at. I think that like Mike Dunleavy Jr. is good at finding players like Lindy Waters, Buddy Hield, Kyle Anderson, right? He can find more of those. I have confidence in his ability to find that. And listen to this. I have more confidence in Mike Dunleavy Jr.'s ability to find margin players to fit in, okay? Than I do of him like somehow drafting and fostering like a superstar. I just don't. So for him to trade for a superstar might be beneficial. It takes a lot of pressure off the franchise. Okay, this is what I want to know from you. I gotta know it can only be one player. I know that stinks. Shoot, it can be a few from the same team, I guess. But I really want to see like a tier list. In the comment section, who do you want to see most on the Golden State Warriors, who isn't a member of the Golden State Warriors right now? And this isn't like past, present, or future. Who in the current NBA do you want to see play on the Warriors? Not a trick question at all. Oh my gosh, it is awesome. It's always awesome talking basketball, chatting. Thank you to those who subscribe, and thank you so much to those who like and comment. Your comments mean the world. I really appreciate them. So gosh, keep on keeping on. Thank you very much. And I'll see you next time at C-Train Station. Have a good one.